Good morning, everyone. Today is the 4th of July. Another daily update. Just to let you know what I see in the market on Bitcoin. And let's have a look. So far, we're coming down, and we came down into these areas that we marked a couple of days ago. So here we are now. We reached that first level. We breached it, and it's trying to react to it. There's a huge reaction. We see a huge big wick there, so it's reacting. So now today we're going to monitor and see what the price action is going to do into these levels. Is it going to stay here, maintain, or it's going to lose it and then target the next level down the 56? I don't know, to be honest with you, to say where it's going to be, the end of this, when it's going to stop. My point here and my job here for you is not to predict where it's going to go or where it's going to stop. I'm here to see the facts, what it's doing, and I take things step by step and where it's going to be possible the next move to be. So far what I see from the TA is I see no signs of reversal, right? Let's talk about that one. There's no sign of reversal. You see it's constant downtrend. This is the 90-minute, 1 hour and a half each candle. So this is a 90-minute. It's something like a little bit better than 1 hour. No specific reason why. You know that I like to split my time frames into equal halves, so to say. So I may watch the let's say the 12 months, then I split it down to 6 months. You can see my time frames up here. 3 months, right? Then I don't have 1 month and a half, right? So I'm either gonna look on the 2 months and a month. I see the weekly, the 2 week, which is 15 days, not 14 days. So 15 days, which is half of the 1 month. 3 days, daily, 12 hours, 6 hours, 3 hours, 90 minutes, right? And then I can go all the way down to 30, 15, and stuff like that. This is not about a short-term trade, so we're not looking to super tight small time frames. We're going to observe the higher time frames, so you're going to see me a lot using the 12 hours and above. 90 minutes, it's just a zoomed in version to see what's going on, where it's reacting in my levels, how it's reacting, and see the price action a little bit closer, like on a microscope, right? So we had a small consolidation going on here for some time, and then it gave us a little bit of hope. It trying to break out from the range. We found that it was resisting in an older range, right? That it's been going on for way longer. That range is since February and March. So on its way up, I did share with you my thoughts that maybe it's going to get rejected, and it will make sense that it's going to come back to retest the pivot point. And if it's going to lose the that range, the middle range, then it is possible it will make sense to target that area, and also that water block, that level over there. So we reached the first level, and the question now is it's going to continue to go down. So far we don't have, even on the 90-minute, we don't have yet any signs of reversal, right? Not even consolidation. So what you have, high, low, high, low, high, low, high, low, high, and then it dropped. And the same thing goes with the lows as well, right? This is a low, 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 keep on giving us a low, low. So it's a clean downtrend. So the thought is now, we need to monitor just for a few days. Why? Because today it's a bank holiday in the US, so the US will not drive the market. I don't expect any movement. The same thing with the European session. We're still in the Asian session, still ongoing. What maybe happen is, towards the end of the Asian session, maybe the Asian will try to push up a little bit just for the closing. Maybe we're going to come into this area trying to get into the range, and the US will not do anything because it's going to close. It's going to be closed. So either we're going to hover in this area, or we're going to come back and hover in this area. All right. This is what I see for today, a consolidation to play out, because we know that the markets are not going to be moving today. I may be wrong. Crypto never sleeps. We know that, right? It's 24/7, 365 days. There's no out of session, market for crypto. Crypto can be driven at any time. However, it relies on volume, right? So it needs a great volume to move. So I don't think there's going to be a lot of volume or manipulation. So this is what I see for Bitcoin today, right? Somewhere a little bit, consolidate around these areas or around these areas. From tomorrow and onwards, from what's today? It's Thursday, so we're looking for Friday towards the end of the week. What's going to happen? So maybe I'm not trying to forecast, but maybe consolidation today, and maybe Friday is going to give us a little bit of hopium. Maybe trying to attack the bottom of the range, and maybe attack the 50% of the range for Friday and weekend. Maybe. Let's go in a higher time frame and have a look a little bit with our agents. Let's see what our agents are showing us, and let's bring the indicators up. RSI is still dropping. Okay, that is on the weekly. Stochastic RSI still heading down. The fast line reached the zero, so it's going to go flat now from now onwards, right? It cannot go any lower. Zero is the the lowest possible, so it cannot go any lower. That means there is no, if you see that bend, right, do not translate that, it's reversing, it's starting to things to change. No, it's because it cannot go any further. It hit the rock bottom, and it's just gonna continue sideways. The same thing with the slow one. Still, it's gonna catch up. It's on 4. It wants to come down lower, right? The good signs will be when and if we're gonna get a clear cross up. Until then, we don't have that, right? So let's go back a little bit on the indicators. RSI is still heading down, right? RSI still has a long way to go. It's on 49, so you see no signs of slowing down or anything. It's just heading down. Another level for possible, rejection levels. Maybe if I draw a line here, roughly around these areas, you can see that we have like a bounce from here, rejection from here, rejection from here, rejection from here, right? Maybe we'll see how it's going to react on the weekly around 40. Okay. So far, not good signs for Bitcoin. By meaning good, reversal to continue to the upside, right? So we're still retracing, correcting. Remember the old days that we used to say, a couple months ago, we did say that when we found that huge big rejection area, right, that we need to have some kind of correction. You know me that I've been calling since February, March that we need to do a correction. That up move has been going on for so long. We need a kind of correction. The correction that was looking was around 50%. And the maximum that we got was like 23. and I was very skeptical about this. I said this is not the correction I was looking for. In trying to push up, everyone was really happy and say, oh, we're going up again, we continue. I was like, where is the the retracement? Where is the correction? That's not it. And now we're going for the second try. I mean, what do you see here? Double top, right, on the weekly. So it's pushing down. We lost these levels and we targeting that area, and possibly we're going to target that area. And we did say that if we lose the 56, that it's going to making sense that we're going to go down to 53, 51, 52, targeting this rejection point. It's a huge order block down here, so there's a lot of imbalance. We did say that a couple of days ago as well, that's imbalance in here. So it will make sense next week, this week, next week, that it may want to clear that imbalance, shake out really at the market. Now if it comes down here to 53, will that be again the 50% retracement that I'm looking for? 28? No, it's not. So even if it comes all the way down here, it is not the proper full retracement that I'm expecting after so long of this bull run. A lot of people are panicking. They say, oh, this is it, it cannot go any higher. People are trying to FOMO or spreading the fad, so to say, that this is the end of the bull market, that's it. I can't say these kind of things. I cannot come out with such statements, right? I'm not, I can't do it. But let me show you why I say the 50% retracement. This is the previous bull market, that is the 2021, right? And this is 2021 again. Okay, so the pivot point again is more clear if you see it on the monthly. The monthly, it's the last bodies that we had, closing bodies that we had on the previous bull market. Here's the pivot point, right? And we lost that pivot point. We reckoned below it. We know that. Now let's go back to the weekly, so we have more price action to see. What do we have? That was, let's say, the top of the first move, and then it came down to do some retracement, and then it went for the second try. Okay, so let's observe a little bit that one and say, how deep did it go on the correction? Around 55%. If I still go into the previous bull market, I'll find the same thing, right? I'll find the same thing. It's no point going backwards. Okay. I'll do it for the sake of it. I'll do it. So here we have another try to move away from the bull market. That's 2015, right? And before it goes up, and then it loses a little bit steam, right? And let's have a look. Let's have a look how much is the retracement. Okay, let's have a look where is the retracement, how much it was. So that was a bear market. That was a previous bull market. That was all the way back in 2018, right? That was the top, right? It came down, crashing down, and then that was the bottom, and then it start a new move, a new wave, and then it came down, and then continue to the second wave, right? So let's measure after the beginning, after the start of moving away from the bear market, giving one move to the up, and you see that it went deeply all the way down to 72%. If we take the bodies, right, roughly around this area, again is 50. So the previous bull market was between 50 and 72, right? We measure that one, the one after. Okay, so let's have a look. Another correction. I'll try to find other corrections. So here we have again rock bottom, first wave, correction, and then a second wave, right? So here we are. Let me measure the down movement. Again, we have 75% from week to week. If I measure until the bodies is around 60%. So every correction that is done in the past, okay, I mean, we already reached all the way back 2013. So you get my point. So according to historical data, so to say, right, I'm talking about facts here. According to historical data, all the corrections is around 50, right, towards 70. And so far, we haven't reached that. Okay? I don't want to sound negative here, or I don't want to spread out the fat. That's not the point. What I'm saying is that, you know, a lot of people are trying to build positions. I think yet it is not the right time to do so, because if they build positions right now and Bitcoin continues to drop to reach, let's say, 50%, right, correction, these people will get wrecked, and I'll try to avoid that. Okay, so do your own research. This is not a financial advice. I'm just, you know, sharing my thoughts on a bigger scale and a higher time frame. I like to see things in a higher time frame. Don't rush with the markets, okay? If you're trying to be smart with the market, it's gonna wash you out. It's the rule of the markets. You know, you need to find a way to be very, very tolerant with them, okay? It's, you know, it's you against the smart people and the smart systems. So it's going to be really, really difficult. So for you to, you know, be safe, you need to see in the higher time frames. So again, even if it comes down, you know, from here all the way down to 50, or even the bottom of the 50s areas, like 50.7, still it's 31%. Okay, it's still 31%. I'm not saying that, you know, oh, we need 60% or 70% or 50%. I'm just telling you, giving you the scope that where is the 50%, you know, retracement, and you can see that, you know, close to 50% is the previous, right, horizontal correction levels. Push to the up, correction, push to the up, correction, push to the up. So you need to look these support lines, okay, support and horizontal lines. Going to the higher time frame, you're going to see these levels more clear, more easier. So go to weekly, right, and you can see the levels. I mean, let me bring the horizontals here and say, hey, what do we see here? Here's one horizontal, right? You see rejection point here, a rejection point here, rejection point here. That was resistance on the way down. It tried to stop as a support, but it did not manage to have a support. It went straight through. Resistance, resistance, resistance. It broke through. We spoke about that way back, that we haven't retested that as a support yet, and that it's going to come back to that line, to these levels. It's going to come back in some point. And I said that most likely we're going to visit the, and we find again a rejection point as a support on the way down, like in the bear market, right? Not now in the bear market, but I need to mark out my horizontals to show you what I see. Okay, another horizontal level is here, right? Another horizontal level is here. Also, there's another one here. You can see by the price action how it's reacting to these levels, right? Look at that rejection point as a support, rejection point, a little bit bleach, you know, breaching the area here and bleeding inside, but it went above overall. So in general, you can see what's going on here, right? We have these levels. So if I mark out these levels and measure, I mean, that is around 30%, right? That will be 40, that will be about 45, that will be about 50, and then all the way down here around 60. Now, do I see Bitcoin go all the way down here in one go? I don't think so. I don't believe so. But if we take the historical data, which is, it becomes like a routine, like a pattern that it wants to retrace minimum 50 and maximum 70, right? So 50, again, around 50, let's take the minimum, it's going to be around 37, 38, right? And you know, I just want to a little bit, you know, let you know that there is a possibility that it might go all the way down here. But before we're gonna make this big, statements that Bitcoin is crashing or Bitcoin is going down, it's doing correction. It's not crashing. It has to do the healthy correction, right? It is not crashing. But people that see that it's going to leave from 77-ish or 74, right? Go all the way down to 45, 38 and 50s, 40s. People will see that as crashing. It is not crashing because we went really, really high. For a 50% retracement, it means it needs to go deeper, right? Does it make sense? What I'm trying to say here. I mean, when you have small movements in the market, right? You have small movements, right? And if you want to measure a drop from here to, let me bring a 50% of the range, right? My red line is 50%. So if I measure that range, right, the very bottom to that very top, the 50% is going to be somewhere here, right? It's going to be somewhere here, not a big deal. Now if I have more stronger moves, let's say that I start from the same point but my moves are way stronger, right? Now you can see that because you have a bigger move, right, more stronger move, bigger move, you start from 25k, right, or 15k, 16k, 25k, all the way up to 75k. If you want to drop that, right, then if you want to measure this, it's going to be from here, right? Let me measure this. It's going to be from here to there, right? The drop is going to be more dramatically, right? It needs to come all the way down here. See the size of it, and look the size of this one. It's bigger, right? But still, it has to be 50%. So yes, by looking at the price in dollar, it's gonna be like huge, from 75 to drop all the way down to 40. It's like big, but in percentage wise, it's exactly the same number. So don't be scared and don't feel fear that because we're gonna reach the 40, that Bitcoin is gonna crash and is finished and is that is the bear market. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's just the gap is bigger because we had greater moves. We had a move from 15k all the way to 74. So it is not a big, it's not a small thing, right, from Bitcoin to start from here to there. If I draw a kind of a line, let me try things a bit more, let's say easier. Let's hope I can make things more easier. The previous bear market, so to say, it was all the way down here, right? Consolidation, and it went, let's say, maximum there. So that's the size of it, right? If I take the same line from our recent bear market, that was a previous bear market. So this is our recent bear market. You see, kind of, we have the same move, not in dollars, but in length, right? And still not over yet. That was after the correction, after the 30% correction, all the way up here to the top of the market. Here, we haven't broken that, and we haven't finished yet. We are not on the top of the market. You can take many things, use multiple tools to see what's going to happen. Also, see the duration, right? I spoke about this in the web room as well, and in the school, that we spoke about that. What's the duration of a bull market? How long it's going to last, and when do we expect things to really turn around? We did say that it's going to be next year, so we still have time, right? Take the other factors as well. We have, this year. It's one of those times, which is quite rare, it doesn't happen always, that we have an alignment, that we have so many elections around the world. So we have the whole universe a little bit not stabilized politically, right? So if the political systems are not stabilized, how the financial systems will be stabilized? It's not, right? It's a chain link. Another thing that you need to consider also, that is going to be difficult times, is because we are in between wars. I know that the media, they don't talk about it, but we cannot forget that Russia and Ukraine still goes. Israel still goes. Somewhere in the, in Asia, there's other wars going on. The tension in the Middle East and in the Mediterranean is high. I can even tell you, even about Greece, Cyprus, Turkey, and Israel, the tense is high. All right? There is trouble ahead. So the markets cannot rally up in one go, pretending that everything is all right. No matter how good we are in the TA, no matter how strong we want to think about crypto space, we need to see what's going on with the world. So I want you to imagine that these things go hand in hand, right? They're walking side by side. So you can't have the whole earth, the whole universe, the whole planet shaking, right, with troubles, and you expect from a crypto chart to be always positive and going in one way. No, it's not going to happen. Okay, this is how I see things. And you're going to ask me, come on, Thalys, why political now? Why, we're talking about elections and politics and wars? Because it's happening around us and it's affecting clearly and greatly the markets. And the markets is kind of giving a reflection of what's going on. Remember that I said many times that I don't look away from the charts to see what's going on. The chart is a real-time storyteller, if I may use that. So it's a storyteller. If the market's not going well, it's giving you an idea that something's up. I don't need a media, and also it's not about the media. I'm not going to go down that road or say that the media don't give you the real reality out there, which is true. It's true, but that's not the point here. The point here is that we have a problem that, let's say I live in the Mediterranean region, right? So how is it possible for me to know what's going on in Asia when I'm not around in the region? How is it possible for me to know what's going on in the US, right? How am I supposed to know what's going on with Russia? I'm not in Russia. I'm not in there. I don't know the language. I don't know what's going on. I don't get the feedback for the vibe from the people. Never mind in the media. Forget about the media. I don't even know what's going on in the Mediterranean region. Never mind, places far away from where I am. But the charts are telling me what's going on. It's telling me. Why is that? Because crypto is international, right? It's not like stocks that's been driven, majority of them, by the US, right? US companies, most of them, if you look in the US, it's going to be driven by the US and the US Times. If you were looking at the stocks in the Asia, it will be driven by the Asians, by the Asian time, right? Crypto though, everyone trades it, right? It's not specific in a region. It goes on other areas. So it's international, so I can see what's going on with the so yeah, we cannot ignore all this stuff. We need to see something that is real time, and this chart is real time for me. I see what's going on, around the world, so it reflects, so to say, right? And an asset that is very international has been traded by all over the world. So yeah, this is how I see things. So I hope that helps so far, right? Okay, I'll give you an understanding of what's going on. So don't be scared, don't be afraid, and take things level by level. Mark out the areas. Like we mark the week, we mark another week here, we understand there's an imbalance. Then the next one, where it's going to be, we mark that area. It's a rejection point, support and resistance, like a range. So we mark the range. At first you're gonna expect to bounce from the range if it goes all the way down there, right? You expect to bounce from the range, and then maybe it's going to come back into it and then trying to get out, and then maybe it wants to come even lower. And that is if what I'm saying here, what I'm designing here, drawing here, is only when and if that Bitcoin decides to do a full retracement, that 50% minimum to 70% maximum, right? So that retracement is 50 minimum all the way up to 70 maximum, right? So it can be a little bit, around these numbers, maybe 48, or maybe all the way to 72, right? It's not exact numbers, but an average between 50 and 70. That's about it, a little bit about Bitcoin. Let's go to 12 hours. Let's have a look on the monthly. Have a look on the monthly, right? Bring out the indicators, look what the your little agents are telling you, right? RSI is dropping. Let's make it a bit wider. Here it is, the RSI on the monthly now, that is dropping. Remember that we want to see RSI react around the area of 50. So that will be around this area. Let me mark out the area for you. So around these areas, I expect to see some kind of reaction around there and around there. Maximum around there. So let's pretend that we see, a great, let's say, reaction when, RSI will hit around this area and then turn around and go for another move up. Why do I say this? Again, as a historical data again, right? So on the monthly, whenever you see over extended, so to say, the RSI has been overextended above the overbought area, right? You see the gradient filament that we have inside the little mountains, right? So when you see this kind of event, this is when we usually have the top of the market, right? So so now I'm just thinking that again, we are going towards a correction phase, and let me bring out, minimize a little bit, slow down to you and see, what happened every time that we reach these peaks, right? Here it is. That's the area that we reached the peak, right? Overextended. That was when the market was over. That was the end of the bull market, and then it went down for the bear market, right? And that was the phase 1 of the new bull market, and then that was the phase 2, phase 3, whatever you're gonna call it, right? And see when the end of the previous bull market happened, when we had RSI overextended, right, in the monthly, giving us a cross down. Here, right, we did not reach above the overbought area, so that's why it's giving me an understanding maybe that it wants to do a correction, and then it's going to try for the second time. When stochastic RSI is going to push one more time, same here, it pushed once, it pushed twice over there, right? So that was the first phase, that was the second phase, right? And that was a bearish divergence. No one saw that. This is where a lot of people got trapped. That was a bearish divergence. This is a high, a low high, but the price was giving you the opposite, high and higher high. So that was a bearish divergence. Nobody saw it, and you need to see that only on the monthly time frame. That's why I taste to see high time frames. Here again, this is it. This is a high. We're going for a low high. Price action follows. No divergence here, thankfully. So we're going to hit around the 50. RSI is dropping. We're waiting for the RSI to come down to 50. Also, you see that a small pullback, so to say, and then maybe we're going to get a push up. Also, have a look here that there is no big negative delta, right? The gray is negative, the selling pressure. If I mark out the really, the bear market, so to say, the beginning of the bear market, the down rally, look a little bit the negative delta, quite strong, right? Have a look at that one, quite strong negative delta, right? So I don't see a big deal of negative delta. So people are not selling yet. So all these pullback and pushback, it's the correction of the algo that it needs to do. People are not selling strong, so this is not a bear market. And also, you know, Bitcoin price, it gets reflected, so to say, it gets pushed around because of Dixie as well. And we're going to have a look at Dixie later. A bit longer today. We're already half an hour in. I'm not going to keep it super long. I just want to share my ideas because I want to make sure, especially now that it's the 4th of July today, that, you know, the market's not going to move. It's a good idea. It's a good time to give you an overall, the bigger picture, and I want you to feel a bit more sturdy about the markets. I don't want you to feel panic and, you know, listen to the FUD and, you know, people out there. So yeah, monthly, still looking for that nice retracement. We're going to monitor. We probably see ASO do something like this. We'll see RSI to do something like this, right? And stochastic RSI also to do this. When we're going to be overextended, right, then we're going to lose the ASO. Then we're going to see maybe more stronger negative delta. You're going to see the stochastic RSI cross down. That will be like coming down from the extreme overbought, and we're going to have again the gradient color inside the mountains. That will be the end of the market, right? That will be, you know, this is where you're going to close your positions and say, okay, that's it. We changing direction. You're not moving away from the crypto space. I hope not. You're going to change direction and say, okay, now it's time for us to go short, and you just keep on shorting the whole market. Speaking of which, I mean, you can see that the crypto space is a tough area to be with, right? It's like you are in the battlefield. And why I'm saying this? Because look what Bitcoin happened in the past 2 years, right? Let's say since 2022 December, Christmas, that was the bottom around 16-15k. Since then it went up, right? Now it's doing small correction. Let me see and pull up a big, let's say, let me go in monthly, and let's have a look on the big alts. So remember Christmas 22, that was the bottom when Bitcoin was at the bottom. Let me clear these lines for you. Here it is, nice and clean. This is the 3 month. Let's go to monthly, it's fine. And let's have a look a little bit. Let me expand here. So look what happened. That was the rock bottom, so let's say from when Bitcoin was around 15k. They did not start at the same time, but it gave you a massive 300% up, and then from there it dropped all the way down to 48%. Okay, so 300%, and then it dropped 50%. The 50% is a big deal compare, you know, to the 312. Okay, it's a big deal. I mean, it started from $5, it went all the way up to 24-ish, and then it came back all the way down to 11. Okay, so from, you know, 24 to 11, people will panic and say, oh, we're crashing. And let's have a look at another token. Let's go into Solana. I'm bringing the big boys now. Let's have a look. Ignore my drawings. That was the bottom of the token last year, 22. Remember Christmas 22? That's around Christmas 22. It started moving with Bitcoin. Then went consolidated for a very long time. Sideways, was accumulating, was building up. Everyone was really busy with Bitcoin. They didn't even realize that Bitcoin started moving to 15k. People start realizing when Bitcoin went reached 24 and 25. But since then, you know, Solana gave you from the very bottom staggering 2,460%. Did anyone realize that? Right? And it's coming down. Okay. It's coming down about how much? Let's say that it came all the way down to 46%, around that area there. Right, and now it's trying to relax a little bit and come down again. And remember, markets, when you have a huge, it's like a pinball, right? Remember the pinball, the game that you're playing, and you pull the string and the ball goes very fast and then it goes all the way up and then it comes down, ding, 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 right? It's bouncing over. This is what happens, right? After a huge move, it needs to bounce. It's coming quite fast down, and it's bounce, and it's going to come down a little bit, and then it's going to relax, accumulate, give you something like this, and then it's going to shoot off again, right? Larger time frames will help you, right? This is not the previous bull run. This is 2022. This is where Bitcoin started, right? Don't be confused. That 2,406% happened this time. Okay? So it needs some kind of correction. Okay? It needs some kind of correction. So this is what all the alts are doing. The point that I'm trying to give you here is that the alts go way faster than Bitcoin. But when they come down, they come way faster than Bitcoin as well. Bitcoin, look what happened. It went all the way up there. It only did 20% retrace. But altcoins, kind of bleeding compared to Bitcoin, right? It went all the way up and then all the way down 50%. So I want you to think carefully when you're going out there and trading, and you decide to go into any kind of project, right? Be careful in which time frames are you looking, which targets are you setting up, and which leverage are you setting up. Okay, there is no way, I guarantee you that there is no way for someone to catch a Solana move on a 50x, right? Because if I measure every retracement, let me break this down into a weekly and see the drops that it's giving you, right? There is no way for you to survive a move on a 50x. A 40% retracement there, right? And 40%, 24%, 25% retracement there. Another retracement over there. Another 21% retracement over there. Over here. Another 40% retracement there. Over here. Another 17% retracement there. You cannot survive with a 50x positions, because on the 50x, right, you only need to be 2% wrong, and it's not even 2%, right, because the liquidation fees are around 2% times the leverage that you have, right? So you need to be careful because the liquidation fees are 2%. Never mind the entry fees, exit fees, maintenance fees, funding fees. The liquidation fees are 2%. You buying and your fees that you're giving is 0.1% times your leverage. Right? So if you're on a 10x, you're giving out 0.1%. Okay. If you going on 20x, then you need to multiply that by 20. Now on liquidation fees is 2%. And before you think that you have a 2% clean threshold on a 50x, you don't. Okay? You don't. Because you didn't think about the liquidation fees, which is really, really high stake. So be careful out there. And just use the higher time frame and find the levels. Right? Find the levels. That's why I mark these areas here. I'll give you an explanation in a different video when I'm going to teach you how to set up the levels and see what's going on. Maybe in this time frame it doesn't make sense on the weekly, but if I take you to the 12 hours, then you can see how price action is reacting to these levels, and you're like, oh, look at that. Right? I'll teach you that in another time. So another push from Solana, and then it came down. It's going to come back where? Into my support zone. Right? That's the support zone. And most likely it's going to come back again. It's going to hit that order block, and then we're going to see another bounce. And we're going to take step by step. No worries. I will come back with the outs. Don't worry. This is the levels that I marked with Solana. But, what do you have in Solana? High, low, high, right, low, high, a small rally up, but that high did not reach the previous high, so it came down. Same lows, equal lows, so to say, kind of, right? Trying to rally up, but again, it's not reaching the previous highs. So remember, a huge push, a pinball, bang, 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 and then it's going to shoot up again. Okay, so I hope that helps a little bit. All the little bits that I'm trying to show you. Ethereum, again, same thing, right? Rally up, and then it's going to come down and correct. It's like, again, we haven't seen a decent rally from ETH as well, right? This is again December 2022 when Bitcoin started moving. Ethereum gave you 286, and so far it dropped all the way down to 31%. And I expect, that red line is my 50% of the range. So I expect that we're going to come back and visit that red line. So maybe, Ethereum will come back while if Bitcoin is retracing, doing some correction, ETH will follow. And the first defense line will be around 2,800, okay, roughly around these levels. If we're going to lose that, then you know what, my next target is going to be 1,750, okay. It's not going to go in one go. You have multiple levels to play around with, step by step. Look to the left, and what do you see? Right, rejection areas, rejection areas, rejection areas. That will be the next little pauses. Right, expect that you're going to get like a bus stop. It's going to stop there, it's going to stop there, it's going to stop there until it gets to the final destination. Now, is it going to be, for certain from here to there? No, it may bounce from here. You never know. I mean, we may bounce from here. What do you see here? Let me bring that horizontal line here. What do you see here? All right. A rejection point as resistance, and a rejection point as support. You never know. Maybe it's going to come back here, right? Consolidate a little bit, bounce, and then start moving to the up. When Bitcoin is going to finish the correction, maybe it's going to start from here and never reach that area. So it is not definitely 100% guaranteed that you're going to move from one level to another. No, but at least I mark my lanes. I have this lane to work, and when it's going to break, I have this lane to work with. And then I need to look to the left and see, where are the possible areas. And this is how I take the, the chart in the TA. Nice and simple. Okay. So you get my idea what's going on. When you go and trade with Bitcoin, it goes very slow up and very slow down. Even that 50% retracement and 70% retracement on Bitcoin, it sounds disastrous. But slow goes up, slow goes down. It is more manageable, so to say, emotionally with Bitcoin. When you're going into Solana and stuff like that, altcoins, never mind the even smaller ones like Popcat, which is a meme coin, right? This is a Popcat now. And let's bring the high time frame. Let's bring the let's have a look at that one here, Popcat. What Popcat is doing, it's fairly new. Very new, and here are the levels, and see the horizontals, trying to see the horizontals, what's going on. So let me bring an horizontal ray here. So here it is. We have one level there, you have another level down here, right, and you have these levels in between, right, and I just go level by level. Now if I was looking on stochastic RSI, even on the daily, guys, what do you see here? A cross down. What do you see on the RSI? Dropping down. What ASO is telling you? Dropping down. It's going down. No point going long on a Popcat right now. Simple. And you just go level by level, bit by bit. Okay. I promise you more videos. I'm gonna bring more videos instead of not instead. I'm gonna do the daily updates as today. but also I'm going to be, showing you around how to find these levels and how to work with these levels, right? But for the time being, enjoy your rest of the day. Remember, it's a bank holiday in the US, so do not expect a big moves today. Okay, we breach, so to say, the previous area. It's going to bounce. We feel that imbalance. We knew that it's going to bounce from here, right? So look the closing on the higher time frame. I go 90 minutes. You can see the 1 hour. It's fine. And look, the closings. Where are the bodies? Are they going to stay? These bodies going to stay above the line? Then if so, right, maybe on Friday and Saturday they're going to try to target to get into the range and possibly 50% of the range, right, and come to the same rejection points. That was rejection point as support, rejection point as resistance twice. You never know. Maybe it's want to try another one more time, right? So let's see what today is going to happen. I do not expect a lot of things today because of the holidays, right? So I don't know if the agents will take advantage later tonight, what's going to happen tomorrow. But, as for the Asian, because we are in the European session now and we're moving towards the American session, I do not expect big things to happen today. Watch what's going to happen with this level. If it's going to lose it, then you know that you're going to target that area and you're going to target that area if it's going to lose that level, right? Slowly it's going to go all the way down there. Otherwise, maybe it's going to, target the range and the 50% of the range and the pivot point and the top of the range and the other kind of the range. You have your levels. Nice and easy, nice and plain and clean, and you go level by level. You observe the progress. It's like the teacher going back to the student and see, how you doing? All right, let's do an exam and see, how good you are. Take it level by level. That's it from me today. I know it's a bit longer. Sorry about that. It's under 1 hour. And I'll come back soon. All right. Enjoy the rest of the day. Have a good one. Be safe out there. See the bigger time frames. Use your tools, and you're gonna do just great. If you have any questions, write down in the comments, and I'll see them and I'll come back to you.